So welcome back everyone. Where we left off in the last video is our React application completely and successfully bolted to the Redux store using the React Redux package. And just a reminder how we accomplished this, we wrapped our entire application in the provider class that comes with the React Redux package. And we built a specialized component called CL Redux Wrapper, and we built that using the connect function of the React Redux package. Now the part that we didn't see and was done automatically is that the React Redux service library triggers the React infrastructure to let it know that the state has changed. The React infrastructure can then go through its standard process of calling the render methods of the components that need to be rebuilt. Well, that's fine if you're using a React application, but supposing you're just using a regular non-React application. Now, I know this video was about React with Redux, but I think it's worth exploring the subscribe part of the interaction with Redux, which means we can do that better and understand it better with an application outside of React. So here is the application with 3 buttons, and it's already got a couple of entries in the list: wake up and get out of bed. And if I click the new button over and over and over, it will add whatever's in the input field. Delete, 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 it takes them out, and the delete all button will simply clear the list out altogether. That's it. So that was the application. Let's have a look at the scenario. No React in this little application, no React Redux. These are the files we got. No React in sight, just Redux, a couple of JS files containing the actions and the reducer function, a bit of styling, but all the action happens on the left-hand side in the HTML file. First off, this is the table and the buttons, and this is where the table is going to be inserted after it's been built. We're just going to use standard HTML commands, standard JavaScript commands to fill the to-do list. So this is the Redux part. We have to create our store just like as we did in the previous example where we use React. But you'll notice I'm just handing in the reducer method. I'm not handing in any initial values. Well, how do they appear? They being the wake up, get out of bed. They're already there when you start the application. How did that happen? Stay tuned. We'll look at that. What's the next bit of the code? Here's the important part, the subscribe function. You invoke the subscribe function on the store and hand in the name of the function that you want called when the store changes. And it's immediately below. It says when the state changes, or when the store changes, please call state has changed, and immediately below I've got status changed function. There it is. And what do? I get the current state into my var called state. I should have been more imaginative with the name, shouldn't I? It drives me nuts when we just have the same names. And then I called rebuild list function, which I wrote and we're going to see next, and hand in the state. Here it is, immediately straight down, and it's just good old plain JavaScript. It loops through the contents of state, it picks up the current state of that list, extracts the items from the list, and builds a good old HTML list, an unordered list. So the question is, how did those initial values get displayed? And the place to discover how they are rendered immediately on the screen is to look at the reducer function and read what's in that red dashed box. This function, the reducer function, is called from Redux at the start of the app if no initial values are provided in the create call. And there we can see the code right below it. The state is undefined at that stage because there's nothing in it. So this is where you get an opportunity to create an array, initial values, insert some values into that array, wake up and get out of bed, and then store it into a new array. We've called it next state, and we've initialized it with init values. And then what do? I call my rebuild list function that says actually go and rebuild my unordered list, and here is the current state. After I've rebuilt the unordered list with the first two items, I then return, so I'm returning back to Redux, handing in my initial state. So what did we learn here? Quick review. We learned how to subscribe to Redux to get informed when the store has changed, and we also learned how to initialize the state if we don't hand in the values, the initial values, on the create store call. And all of that was achieved in this small number of files. They're all zipped up. Look in the description and you can download this app and run it, explore it, plagiarize it, steal the code, folks. And thank you for watching. Good luck with all your React and Redux projects.